Have you ever imagined yourself in a stormy sea, with violent waves and furious winds, where the vessel of our life rocks dangerously? In moments like these, when everything around us seems out of control, we have two choices: to impulsively react to the forces surrounding us, or to respond with the serene wisdom of a Stoic captain. The difference between these choices can determine not only the direction of our life, but also the peace we find along the way. In modern times, when we are constantly bombarded with information, expectations, and challenges, Stoic philosophy offers a beacon of clarity and tranquility. This ancient wisdom teaches us that while we cannot control the winds and tides of life, we can always control how we choose to navigate through them. Stoicism invites us to cultivate a mind that responds rather than reacts, to face adversity with dignity, and to find peace amidst chaos. In this video, we will explore how to train our minds to respond with intention and wisdom instead of reacting with impulsiveness and emotion. Together, we will dive into the depths of Stoic philosophy, discovering strategies and practices that will help us build a solid foundation of calm and resilience. Before we begin, don't forget to like this content. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I want to invite you to join our Stoic community. Also, leave the phrase, "I will have self-mastery," in the comments as a reflection. Get ready to embark on a transformative journey where we will learn to embrace every challenge with the serenity of a true Stoic. Understanding reacting versus responding. Human existence is a tapestry woven with threads of moments, each offering a choice: react or respond. The difference between these two actions, though subtle, is fundamental to the pursuit of tranquility and wisdom. The ancient Stoics, masters of practical philosophy, dedicated themselves to exploring this distinction, teaching us that true freedom lies in our ability to choose how we handle life's challenges. Reacting is a primal impulse, an almost automatic response to external stimuli. It is what keeps us alive in situations of imminent danger. When someone insults us, we feel a wave of anger. When something unexpected happens, we are overcome by anxiety. Reactions are instinctive, quick, and often devoid of reflection. They emerge from the depths of our being, shaped by our past experiences, fears, and desires. However, living in a constant state of reaction is to live at the mercy of the external world, allowing circumstances and others to control our emotions and actions. Marcus Aurelius, the great philosopher-emperor, reminds us that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When we react, we allow the world to paint us with its palette, often obscuring our true essence. Responding, on the other hand, is an act of consciousness and intention. It is the practice of pausing, reflecting, and choosing the most appropriate action based on our principles and values. The response emerges from reason and wisdom, not impulse. It recognizes the situation but does not become dominated by it. For the Stoics, the ability to respond appropriately to life's challenges is the key to eudaimonia, or true happiness. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, taught that it is not things that upset us, but our opinions about them. This perspective invites us to reevaluate our interpretations and cultivate an inner space where we can choose our responses with clarity and serenity. The distinction between reacting and responding is a matter of choice. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control external events, we have complete mastery over our attitudes and actions. This belief is encapsulated in the dichotomy of control, a central principle of Stoicism that teaches us to focus on what is within our power and accept with tranquility what is not. When faced with adversities, the Stoics encourage us to ask, "What depends on me?" By directing our attention to our thoughts and actions, we reclaim our power. It is not about suppressing emotions, but about recognizing them and allowing them to pass through us without defining us. Anger, fear, and sadness are fleeting. Not drowning in them requires discipline and self-reflection. Daily meditation, self-examination, and the constant pursuit of wisdom are essential tools for this journey. Marcus Aurelius advises, sometimes, even in front of an enemy, we can take a good example, but it is reason itself that must judge whether this is right or wrong. The Stoic practice also involves preparing for adversity. Negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, helps us imagine challenging scenarios and plan our responses. By anticipating difficulties, we strengthen our resilience and cultivate a serene and prepared mind. According to the Stoics, true freedom is not the absence of difficulties, but the ability to face them with equanimity. Reacting is being a slave to circumstances. Responding is being the master of oneself. By cultivating the art of responding, we transform every challenge into an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. In a world often chaotic and unpredictable, Stoic wisdom offers us a beacon of hope and clarity. It reminds us that while we cannot control the winds of life, we can adjust our sails and navigate with purpose and dignity. With each conscious response, we reaffirm our humanity and our ability to live a life of meaning and virtue. Thus, throughout the tapestry of life, we weave not only with the threads of circumstances, but with the wisdom of our choices. The difference between reacting and responding is the difference between a life lived by chance and a life lived with intention and purpose. May we then embrace the Stoic perspective and respond to life's call with serenity and courage. Why is responding instead of reacting important? In today's world, we live in a time characterized by the speed of communication, where every moment seems to demand an immediate response. However, this urgency can lead us to act impulsively without proper reflection. In the modern context, understanding and practicing the art of responding instead of reacting is more crucial than ever. This approach brings profound benefits that extend to personal, professional, and social well-being. In today's digital environment, the line between reaction and response is constantly tested. Social media and instant communication platforms encourage quick and often emotional replies. These often hasty reactions can fuel conflicts, spread misinformation, and harm personal and professional reputations. Responding, on the other hand, requires pausing to reflect on the received message and its implications. This break allows consideration of tone, intention, and the impact of our communication. In a world where posts and messages can go viral in seconds, the ability to respond thoughtfully is vital for maintaining healthy relationships and building a respectable digital presence. The practice of responding instead of reacting also significantly impacts our mental and emotional health. Impulsive reactions are often stress-laden and can increase anxiety. When we react immediately, we often rely on underlying fears or insecurities, which can exacerbate negative feelings and create a continuous cycle of tension. On the other hand, responding requires a state of calm and mental clarity. This practice promotes self-reflection and self-understanding, helping us identify and address the root causes of our emotions. By cultivating the ability to respond, we develop emotional resilience and a greater ability to face challenges with balance and rationality. Personal and professional relationships thrive when there is clear and respectful communication. Impulsive reactions can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts that weaken these relationships. When we respond thoughtfully, we show respect for others and the situation, strengthening trust and mutual understanding. In the workplace, the ability to respond appropriately can be the difference between a collaborative environment and a climate of tension. Taking the time to understand colleagues' perspectives and communicating effectively promotes a harmonious and productive work environment. Effective leaders are those who can respond instead of reacting in crisis situations. The ability to stay calm and assess the situation before acting is essential. Leaders who react impulsively may make rash decisions with long-term negative consequences. Those who respond with consideration are more likely to make informed and strategic decisions. Furthermore, responding with wisdom and patience sets an example for others. Demonstrating this skill fosters an organizational culture where reflection and thoughtful communication are valued, inspiring team members to adopt a similar approach. Responding instead of reacting is a practice that contributes to personal growth and self-mastery. It requires self-awareness and discipline, qualities cultivated over time. This practice encourages us to take responsibility for our actions and their consequences, fostering a sense of agency and control over our lives. The ability to respond consciously also helps us align our actions with our long-term values and goals. Instead of being carried away by the moment's impulses, we can act according to our principles, building a more intentional and meaningful life. On a broader level, the practice of responding instead of reacting contributes to a more harmonious society. When more people adopt this approach, conflicts are resolved more peacefully and constructively. Communication becomes more effective and interpersonal relationships are strengthened. Responding with consideration and empathy also promotes intercultural understanding and global cooperation. In an increasingly interconnected world, the ability to communicate respectfully and reflectively is essential for facing collective challenges and building a more collaborative and harmonious future. The difference between reacting and responding may seem small, but its implications are vast and profound. In today's fast-paced and interconnected world, cultivating the ability to respond with reflection and intention is essential for our mental health, relationships, and capacity to lead and grow personally. By choosing to respond instead of reacting, we not only improve our own lives, but also contribute to a more understanding and balanced world. Developing the ability to respond instead of reacting is a process that requires practice, discipline, and deep introspection. In the contemporary world, where we are constantly bombarded by stimuli and pressures, this skill becomes even more vital. Below, I present various strategies for training the mind to respond reflectively and intentionally. One of the most effective practices for cultivating this skill is mindfulness. Mindfulness invites us to be present in the moment, observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. By incorporating mindfulness into our daily lives, we begin to notice moments when we tend to react impulsively. This state of awareness allows us to create a space between stimulus and response, a crucial interval where we can choose our action instead of being driven by impulses. A central component of mindfulness is meditation. Regularly practicing meditation helps us develop the ability to observe our thoughts and feelings without attaching to them. Sitting in silence, focusing on the breath, and observing thoughts as they come and go may seem simple, but it is a powerful tool for developing mental clarity and patience. Over time, this practice teaches us to respond to life's challenges with a calm and centered mind. Another important strategy is self-observation. Observing oneself and one's behaviors objectively can reveal reaction patterns that previously went unnoticed. Keeping a reflective journal is an effective way to practice self-observation. Writing down our daily reactions, especially during moments of stress or conflict, allows us to identify emotional triggers and better understand what drives us. Reviewing these notes can uncover valuable insights into our thought and behavior habits. Discipline is another key piece in this process. Responding instead of reacting requires a conscious decision and often an effort to change deeply ingrained habits. Implementing small daily changes can have a significant impact over time. For example, in challenging situations, we can commit to taking 3 deep breaths before responding. This simple act of pausing can transform an impulsive reaction into a thoughtful response. Moreover, the practice of visualization can be a powerful tool. Imagining challenging scenarios and mentally rehearsing how to respond effectively can prepare us better for real situations. This premeditation practice allows us to experience a variety of possible responses and choose those most aligned with our values and goals. It is essential to remember that training the mind to respond is an ongoing journey. It is not something that develops overnight, but a constant practice of self-understanding and growth. Celebrating small victories along the way and being kind to yourself during moments of failure is crucial to maintaining progress and motivation. Training the mind to respond instead of reacting is a valuable investment in our emotional well-being, relationships, and ability to face life's challenges with wisdom and balance. By incorporating these strategies into our daily lives, we cultivate a more conscious and intentional presence, allowing us to live in accordance with our deepest values and build a more meaningful and harmonious life. By understanding the difference between impulsively reacting and deliberately responding, we embrace one of the most valuable lessons of Stoic philosophy. Valuing reason over emotion allows us to make wiser decisions, maintain inner peace, and improve our interpersonal relationships. By practicing reflective pause, self-awareness, and the dichotomy of control, we become more resilient and prepared to face life's challenges with serenity and wisdom. The journey to becoming a true Stoic is not easy, but it is deeply rewarding. By applying these principles in our daily lives, we can transform our emotional responses and live with more balance and purpose. If you made it to the end of this text, comment below "to the end." I'd love to know that you are committed to this journey of Stoic growth and wisdom. Until the next content,